I've been thinking about setting up this website for so long, like literally years. I've had so many ideas, inspirations, thoughts, opinions, but never really had an outlet to express them in the way that I wanted to. I've always been kind of afraid to, express the real truth behind my own perspective on certain things for a number of reasons. Will I be rejected? Will I be shunned? Will it hurt people? Will people be triggered by what I'm saying? Will people feel like they're failing because the opportunity in front of us is so great? One thing I've realized about being a strategist and helping people to, turn a vision into something real, like a business or a product or a service, is that when we realize the true potential of something, it makes us realize how inadequate we are right now. And, I know that when I began my journey towards building, my first real grunty project, being the Powerhouse platform, I felt so inadequate. When I looked into my vision and I saw the kind of person that is capable of creating something like that, let alone running it and managing it and ensuring its success and fronting it. When I saw the nature of that kind of person, it was not my nature. Far from it. I was very passionate and driven and angry when I was first conceiving of this. I looked at all the issues in society and I was still blaming some unseen authority, like the government or big corporations. And, I was still in that mentality of blaming something just because of its nature. And over the years, I've come to learn that everyone has a unique nature, that the nature of every human being is entirely different. I mean, the nature of men and women is absolutely different. Talking about the essence of the masculine and the feminine, not necessarily their biology. But we seem to be in the struggle to, create harmony, but, with each other, but we're totally incapable of creating harmony within ourselves. And, through learning about myself and my own inward journey with, things like meditation and, self-awareness, and coming to discover myself as both masculine and feminine in nature. And coming to understand myself not as just one thing, like one human being, but as, three separate things working together as one. A mind, a spirit, or, the energy, the energetic nature of myself. The nature of my mind, and those two things, contained within a biological system, a body. I've been on a really deep journey with this, and, I'm at the stage now where I can go into, cells in my body and feel into the nature of a single cell and understand it. And this is the potential that we actually have. But the issue is that we don't trust what we see. So if I said to you now, just sit in your seat. Now imagine yourself taking your energy and your awareness inside your body. See it going down your throat. Now see it going into your liver. Notice your awareness settling on top of your liver. Feel the beat and the rhythm of that. You would experience something, but you would never trust that it was real. Never. Some of you will. But the issue is not that we don't have the capability to do these things. The issue is that the experience that we have, we don't trust it. We don't trust that it's real. We think that our imagination is a fiction, and we certainly don't trust it. And, the problem with everything is that we don't trust our own nature. This is inherent in the collective of every human being. And that we do not trust our own nature. And why would we? The nature of what people would call the toxic masculine. And God, I hate that word. Toxic masculine. The nature of violence, the nature of destruction. We hate these things. We see them as negative. We resist them. We reject them. But if you look at the nature of mercy, the emotion of mercy holds the intention to destroy the source of the suffering. And I've experienced this myself. I live in a place where there's a lot of wildlife, and you get rabbits and possums crossing the road. And I was driving late at night, driving home, and I saw a half-dead possum on the road. And he was clearly in pain, and I still swerved to miss him so that I wouldn't kill him or her. And then I kept driving, and then my chest just was clenching up with pain. The empathy I was experiencing for that animal that was in pain was so intense. And so what I do now, and I do it just as a habit now, when I feel an emotion, I sink into it, so I can understand what it means to me before I act upon it. And I sunk into it and felt into the nature of the emotion that I was feeling, and it had this, I could feel it was very loving, but beneath it was pain. And the drive was to end that pain. And when I sunk into the nature of that drive, it was actually beyond destruction. It went into annihilation. I actually wanted to annihilate the source of that pain. And how that wanted to outwardly manifest itself was through a desire to do a U-turn in the car, drive back, and run over the possum in order to end its suffering. Now, if you remove the context of mercy, let's say the possum was not in pain. It was just sitting there. If I did a U-turn, turned around and drove back to that possum, and then just planted my foot and ran it over, what's that then? How is that different to mercy? You see? And this is what human beings have to accept, and they have to acknowledge before we really do anything like seek peace or try and create harmony, because harmony and peace, they reside within the body. My business partner, my great friend Tom, says this a lot, that peace resides within the hearts of men, meaning men and women, of course. And it's true. So why are we busy trying to help each other and to heal each other when the only healing that needs to take place is internal? Understand your own nature. Understand what it means to be merciful. That the nature of mercy means that the drive behind that is prepared to annihilate whatever is in the path of destroying that source of pain. And the same thing goes for, nature. Nature has the same makeup: mind, spirit, and body. The planet, the cells within the planet, everything that contains atomic size, everything that has atomic size has consciousness, has spirit, energy, and motion, and it has consciousness, some form of mind. In a cell, it's a membrane, and that brain is its mind. Its perception, it determines the nature of the way it evolves. It's the same with everything. And so who's to say that the mind or the consciousness of this planet that we're living on is not prepared to annihilate the source of its suffering? And this is where the ignorance of human beings comes in, where we believe that we're above nature or somehow not part of it. It's just not the case. Everything in nature arises. Everything in nature arises. And if you were to say, what is the nature? If you were to ask yourself, what is the nature of nature? It arises. And so if in the same way, I'm in my living room at the moment, but if I had someone that you loved sitting next to me, and I said to you, go and shoot a random person in the head, otherwise I'll shoot your loved one in the head, you would do it. You would do it. If you knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I would follow through, you would do it. And this is the nature of nature. Everyone is capable of anything. All of us are capable of anything. Being a murderer, of doing the very worst possible things, of doing the most negative things. But we look at other people and we shun them. We have no compassion. They do something bad and we post images on Facebook that this is not who we are. Yes, it is. This is our nature. This is our nature, and nature arises because of the environment that contains it. And so until we can collectively agree on this, nothing's really going to happen. We're never really going to show someone that does something that we deem negative, we're never really going to be able to show them compassion. And, establish an actionable plan to reconcile this disharmony. We don't want it. Of course we don't. But the solution is not to create distance between the issue and ourselves, to say that that's not me. I'm not capable of that. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're capable of the very worst. Because mercy is also merciless. You would do anything to end the potential suffering of someone you loved. And I mean anything. And so the most beautiful emotion of all, mercy. The emotion where, one of my favorite descriptions of the meaning of mercy is to be in a position to cause pain but choosing not to. And so in the scenario with me and the possum on the road, the half-dead possum, I was in a position to end its suffering. I mean, I didn't actually do the U-turn and turn back, but it ruined my entire day. I was stuffed the entire day. And I was hoping that someone else would finish the job. And I was devastated. I wish I had gone and done it. So I feel like this is an appropriate theme for, the first post on this website. It's called Kernel. And my intention is to explore the greatest issues facing us as a species, to explore them, the full depths of them, and to reveal the hidden truth of them, to reveal the nature behind them, what drove them, what's driving them, so that we can then establish what it is that we really want, so that we can then move forward in a way that is towards what it is we actually want. We can only do it once the truth is exposed, once it's real. And when the truth emerges, you can't really deny it. It's like getting slapped in the face. It's like you get this feeling in your chest like, oh, I may not like that truth because of what it means. Because of what it means about where I am right now in comparison to where I'd really love to be in relation to that thing, in relation to that truth. What if that truth means that the way we govern ourselves has to change? What if that truth means that the way we address crime has to change? What if it means if the way that I parent has to change? What if it means that the way we school people has to change? What does it mean if I have to change myself right now to move away from what is familiar into the unknown, engendering fear within me, in order to move towards a society where people who are disabled and elderly are integrated into the way that we live, not separated, where they can live a normal life like it's a normal thing to be disabled, that you can just live a normal life in a home, having absolutely everything that you need in order to live purposefully, in order to live a meaningful life and receive all the support and the love that you need. And the parents of the people who are disabled, they have enough support around them so that they can live a meaningful and purposeful life, that their life doesn't mean that they're just looking after someone with a disability. Everyone has the potential to live a meaningful life, to live a life in a way that means something to them. But in order to experience meaning in your life, in order to actually experience true meaning and therefore fulfillment, it means we have to address the truth and take steps forward that mean something. This is the truth. I accept that in this moment, this is my truth. Based on my nature and my perspective now, this is what I believe to be the truth. I don't need anyone to validate that. It could be entirely wrong to someone else. But in this moment, I claim this as my truth. So from here, I choose to move forward in a way that means something. This is my truth. And so right now, I'm going to do this because it means that once I've done that, I'm able to experience that. And once I'm able to experience that, it means I can now focus upon that. And once I'm focusing upon that, it means I can then. That's what meaning is. It's that the choices you make are meaningful. All of a sudden, you're enjoying doing your taxes. All of a sudden, I'm not in that camp. My accountant will tell you. All of a sudden, I'm enjoying painting the house. All of a sudden, I'm enjoying cleaning the house. All of a sudden, I'm enjoying that 10-kilometer run. Whatever it may be. Meaning is all that matters. Meaning is all that matters. And you are the only one in control of what is meaningful for you. Esoterically, meaning is the marriage of mind and spirit. The mind brings a thought. We hold that thought. We follow it. We follow that thought until it runs out. Until at the end, we're left with a feeling that is evoked. And in that moment, we have meaning. We feel that feeling and we can say, oh, if I was able to do that, it would mean this, it would mean that. Every thought is a gift. Every thought is a gift. Every thought is holding a potential meaningful action you could be taking to create fulfillment, to bring meaning into your life, even if it's negative. And in fact, what I've come to learn is that our true power lies within our darkest shadows. In the same way that the true power of mercy is in its intent to destroy anything in its path. If that thing that is in our path is seen as the source of the suffering, it will annihilate that source. So, that feels like an appropriate place to finish. And so all I really want to say is that this is Kernel. All I want to do is reveal the truth, get to the hidden truth of everything. In fact, it's actually about me. It's not about healing anyone or changing the world or changing society or creating change. This is an outlet for me to express my truth and to reveal the hidden truths that I discover from going within myself and expressing them authentically, but leaving them open for other people who resonate to potentially reach out and connect and to join with me and collaborate on projects that have meaning. Whenever a truth is revealed, the ideal scenario from my perspective is that if you can draw people in who resonate with that truth and a vision for the future based on the reality of that truth in its present form, then together we can take steps forward that have meaning. Together, if we can do this, it means that. Together, once we've achieved that, it means we can then do this. And in reality, the harmony that we want, that we see in the distant future, is available to us right now just by taking meaningful action. Not purposeful, not intentional, meaningful. Being conscious of what it means to move forward in this way together. Because in that state, it doesn't matter whether you're disabled, elderly. All that matters is that your life has meaning. And that's what living is. So, how can we? Cheers for now.